Oh my god! What's up guys, KooKenji here, and in today's video we are going to be updating the cam build showcase. In this video we're going to be looking at the different attributes, perks and positioning you want to be using as a cam, as well as looking at some gameplay, and I'll be giving some general tips whilst going over the gameplay. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get into the build. So in my original cam build showcase, I stated that you should play as a striker in the cam position simply because you had more pace and the drop off in passing wasn't too much. But in recent updates I found that you kind of need some level of passing, and changing to a cam is a lot more beneficial than playing as a striker in the cam position. I don't know when or why, but for some reason playing as a striker your passing is really bad as opposed to as a cam. Doing stuff like long balls is a lot more difficult now. That being said, this is my cam build. So as you can see, I'm still only 85 rated, and the reason for that is that I still haven't invested too much passing. As you can see there, I'm only 80 rated in passing, but having the cam position, it just alone is just good enough for your passing. Going into the build, we can see that I am 5'7" and 110 pounds. Now I've chosen 5'7" as that means I can win some headers against CPU, but mostly against other pro players I'm generally dominating the smaller players, especially those 5'3", 5'4" strikers that most people like to run around with. And having that 5'7" and 110 pounds just means I have some decent ability in the air. Going into the builds even more, we can see my perks are active first touch, tireless runner and threaded pass. Now in my perks, I'd say active first touch and threaded pass are the necessary perks. Now active first touch is going to boost your ball control, acceleration and sprint speed, all of which are very helpful as a cam because ball control helps you weave in and out of your opponents, as well as acceleration and sprint speed are going to be always helpful in FIFA for running backwards and forwards. Secondly, threaded pass for me is another must-have perk, as this is going to boost your long through balls as well as your short through balls, and that's going to be very helpful because as a cam you're going to be making a lot of those passes, so having a boost to those stats is very nice. As well as this, it also gives you the swerve and flare trait, although you already get the flare trait from active first touch. If you for whatever reason don't choose to use that, you can get flare trait on this as well, and swerve pass is quite nice, as well as the 5-star weak foot that comes along with that. Lastly, we have tireless runner, and again this is also a must-have perk for me, but I know some people don't really like second wind or don't really value it. In my opinion, for those tougher games or in the higher divisions, you need second wind because a lot of the times you will be going to the 90th minute, so having that extra bit of stamina so you can finish those counter attacks is a lot better than not having the stamina. Instead of tireless runner, you can have either skill dribbler or long distance shooter. With distance shooter, this is going to boost your long shot ability with finesse shot trait, outside foot shot trait, and again another 5-star weak foot ability trait. However, this is more so for lower division teams, which is why I say this is more so for fun, because in higher divisions or harder games you probably don't want to be taking long shots, especially if you're playing against a human goalkeeper, because they love long shots, so you generally don't want to be taking long shots in general. But what's the point of playing FIFA if you're not having fun? So you could have distance shooter, but your teammates will probably hate you for it. Another thing your teammates might dislike you for is skill dribbler. Depending on how good you are, this might be useful for you, but again this is for more so a fun thing, and I'd more so recommend second wind, which is going to be a lot more consistent and a lot more efficient for you in the harder games, as opposed to something like skill dribbler or distance shooter, as those things can be very hard to pull off, and you know, if you don't pull them off then they're basically going to waste. Moving on into attributes, the most important attribute we're going to be focusing on and prioritizing is pace. So if you don't have many attribute points now, just invest all into pace, as this is going to be the most important stat for you in FIFA. After pace, I'd say the next best thing is going to be going into dribbling, and more so going into balance and agility. Now here I've got balance and agility all maxed out, because for me having that balance and agility means I can weave in and out of defenders a lot more easily, and as a cam you're going to be going into a lot of tight spaces, so having that ability to go in and out is going to be very helpful. And along with that you're going to get some dribbling and ball control points with that to help along. After dribbling, you might want to either go into passing or into physical. As you saw there, I only invested 1 point into passing, and personally I think is a bit redundant, especially with the threaded pass trait as well as being cam. Your passing is good enough, so you don't need to invest into more passing. And because of that, I've gone into strength and jumping and aggression as well as stamina. Now stamina is going to be helpful for running back and forth. As a cam, you're going to be doing a lot of tracking back, but having the strength and jumping and aggression, as I mentioned earlier, it helps with tackling and beating smaller players in the air, especially those 5'3", 5'4" strikers that most people often run up top. But that's going to be everything I wanted to cover with the cam build, so I'm going to be going over the gameplay now, and I'll be giving general tips alongside the gameplay. Creating chances. The key to creating chances is that you want to be in space when you receive the ball or be running into space. And the reason for that is because you're going to be in space, you can take your time with your pass and think and execute the pass perfectly. There you saw I waited just a moment so my teammate could get into position to score. Similarly in this clip, you're going to see I'm going to be in plenty of space, and because of that I can look up, see where my teammate is, and then because of that I can see where the danger is, and that's going to be in the opponent's half with a long ball, and I'm going to wait for my teammate to get on the last man and send the ball over the top, in which he can finish off with a nice little dink. Again, I'm going to reiterate, running into space and being in space can be the difference between making a good chance and making no chance. Here you can see on the minimap, there's plenty of space to run into, however my teammate isn't anywhere near the last man. So I'm just going to hold the ball for a bit longer. There you can see I'm going to cut the ball back and then I'm going to send the ball over the top. And because of that, my teammate was able to get in behind, and with some good dribbling he can cut in and score. This is just one more clip to really emphasize what space can do for you for creating chances. Unfortunately we don't score from this chance, but look how much space I had there, and because of that I can make a perfect pass to send my striker through. Don't feel obliged to always have to make a pass if there is an open pass, because sometimes the pass isn't very productive. Here I can pass it into the corner, but that's not really going to do much for our team, so I'm going to run through with it and then let my striker reposition and he can get into a better position and score the goal. Just try to think of the outcomes of each scenario and then decide what you want to do. Scoring goals. Now as a cam you won't have many goal scoring opportunities, but you still need to support your striker and get into those positions. There you saw me call for the ball in a risky position by the way, however I was able to get away with it, and there you can see I can just run down that red line and get into the box, and that's where the danger is. And because the ball pushed my striker out wide, there was so much space in the centre for me to run into. Fortunately the keeper was a bit buggy there and I was able to finish that. But when your striker is out of position, make sure you fill that position up. Oh my god! What a goal! Holy shit! And that was just the live reaction of me scoring that goal on stream. And that's one of the perks of having long shot trait, although long shot trait doesn't mean you score that every time. That's still a 1 in 30 shot chance. Now in these last few clips I just really want to show what an all-round cam should be doing, as well as include the defensive duties of a cam. Here you can see I'm just protecting the back four, even though that's what the DM's position is. As we're playing in Div 1 and we only have 2 players, I kind of have to take that position myself. But you can see I send the ball over to the wing and then I make sure to back up my striker. And there you can see their centre back comes out wide to try and defend the cross, but I saw that and I could see my striker in plenty of space and I can whip the ball in. And defending doesn't have to just be outside the box, it can be further up the pitch. There you can see I win the ball back on the halfway line. Then the striker proceeds to run out wide, so I'm going to take the centre, and then again I'm going to go out wide, he's going to take the centre back, and then I can pass it through to him and he can shoot into the far post and score. And that's going to be everything I wanted to cover, so please do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed that video. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and when we hit that milestone I will have a special video coming out. But until then, I hope you guys have a good day and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and bye bye.